Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. It's always such a pleasure to bring you the news every week, and I could not do it without the support of miskatonicbooks.com. Thank you so much, miskatonicbooks.com, for sponsoring the show. It means so much to me and to everyone watching the show. Miskatonicbooks.com are an amazing resource if you're interested in esoteric books and occult books the way I am, and if you specifically like very beautiful books that have been published by independent publishers. So not just beautiful books, but books that are able to talk about topics that maybe aren't so mainstream, that aren't so beginner friendly, right? Books that really kind of go a little bit deeper. Then miskatonicbooks.com really are should be the first place that you think of as a place to go and find such books. And you can see up on your screens some examples of the kinds of books that you can find at miskatonicbooks.com, and these are just on the front page. You know, once you've explored all the lovely delights that are on their front page, you can then dig a little bit deeper and find little rabbit holes and find particular types of books, particular topics, and if there's a book that is on your mind that is actually not available through miskatonicbooks.com, it's likely that they've got a holding link for it, and you can just enter your email there and they will send you an update as soon as they've got that book back in stock. Because this is another thing that they do, is that they get books that are out of print. They find these rare copies, right, and make those books available to you. So go and check out miskatonicbooks.com. You won't regret it. All right, let's go and find details of the news today, starting with Black Letter Press, who are making available some rare first editions. And included in those rare first editions, folks, is going to be one of those very, very difficult to get hold of copies of Hidden Paths by yours truly, the purple edition, right? The edition that came out just for the Kickstarter backers. It seems like they have one or two remaining, and if you were really hoping to get your hands on a first edition Hidden Paths, then now is definitely the time to do so. Same thing with Dreams of Witches by Christina Oakley Harrington. They had such a beautiful edition of that when that originally came out. And then, of course, the Petit Albert and the Enchiridion, both in their first editions. So we've got with the kind of fabric covers, right, rather than the emit linen. So yeah, very, very cool stuff indeed, and I'll leave a link to all of that in the description. I also wanted to point you to a new pre-order that's now available called Learning from Legendary Practitioners. Now, I've mentioned this in previous editions of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News, but it is now available to purchase. So this is Cadmus's Learning from Legendary Practitioners. And let's dig a little bit deeper and find out a little bit more about this book. So let's see. It's for the hardcover edition only. Please allow 2 to 3 months for shipping. See below for more information about our edition. The cover image is shown for the hardcover edition is a mock-up, which is fair enough if the book is 2 to 3 months away from being realized, right? So let's see. A necromantic journey into history, myth, and the practice of magic is a masterclass in the practice of spirit summoning and necromancy. In this book, Cadmus offers a series of investigations into ancient and legendary experts in the occult arts, including the ancient Greek figures Circe, Tiresias, Medea, and Orpheus. Tiresias. This is a new one for me, maybe to my shame, as well as the supposed witches and fairy queens who are the inspiration for the play Macbeth. These investigations engage with the myth and literature around each figure, as well as their historical and archaeological contexts. Each chapter seeks to provide both our best understanding of the practitioners in question, as well as explanations for how the author went on to contact these figures and what he learnt from the experience, thus blending historical research with active occult investigation, largely of necromantic nature. The result is a book that provides a full education in the practice of spirit summoning and necromancy, as well as offering a complete profile of some of the art's most famous practitioners. Doesn't that sound like fun, folks? I'm very excited for this one. And we get a little breakdown of the contents in the form of various chapters here. It's 254 pages. Just 2 to 3 months to wait for that to be available. Okay, it seems like it will also be available as an EPUB book. A paperback usually follows, but pre-orders are not open for that quite yet. But yeah, £15 for the EPUB and £61.49 for the hardcover. It is my understanding... nope, I'm not going to say anything more because I'm just not sure, so I wouldn't want to say something silly. There we go. So and there's currently a 10% off summer sale for all books, pamphlets and EPUBs from noon 22nd of August through to midnight on the 5th of September. I'm guessing that's finished now. Okay, all right. Let's move on, folks, to news from Martin Fawkes, who has released Hermetic Meditation. This seems kind of exciting. So the Hermetic tradition proclaims that all things are formed of pure consciousness. The thoughts that we generate and the things that we imagine are made of the same underlying force from which the denser physical objects also consist. Existence is considered one emanating light formed into various forms and vibrations. Practitioners of this art believe the human mind can be trained in order to step beyond the limitations of the self, the goal being the transformation of self, the evolution of consciousness, and oneness with the underlying goodness in all things. This book is a modern practitioner's insight into meditation practice from a Hermetic point of view and a comprehensive, practical guide that includes a guide to seated postures, how to establish a meditation routine, breathing and its link to guiding mind states, how to best prepare for a meditation session, methods of overcoming persistent disturbances, how to purify and harmonize your own consciousness, how to link with the divine goodness during meditation, meditation methods from the traditional Hermetic works, and bringing the blessings of your practice into your daily life. So that sounds exciting, right? Written from a hands-on, practical rather than historical perspective, this work will be of great value to all those seekers undertaking a spiritual path with the goal of unfolding the beauties of one's inner divinity. I mean, it's very clear that with meditation being so central in so many of the Eastern esoteric practices and exoteric practices, by the way, finding an equivalent in a Western Hermetic tradition or pseudo-Hermetic tradition, it doesn't really matter, to be honest, based certainly on traditional Western backgrounds and traditions and so on. I think that makes good sense and can be quite an exciting book. All right. Let's continue with this one over here, Magia Divina, an 18th century Rosicrucian adaptation of the Holy Abramelin operation. This kind of took me by surprise, folks. So this is Duke Charles of Sweden, edited and translated by Tommy Westland. Let's take a closer look at this. For the first time, the Magia Divina, also known as the Abramelin operation, is presented in the manner that our Scandinavian Rosicrucian brethren used it in the 18th century. The Swedish manuscript, from which all the emblems and exquisite illustrations in the present volume are reproduced, was handwritten by Duke Charles, later King Charles the 13th of Sweden, one of the prominent esoteric leaders in Europe. in the early 1780s. From the perspective of esoteric masonry and the Hermetic Rosicrucian and Golden Dawn traditions, the emblems unveil profound magical and alchemical aspects of the various chapters. These are, together with an overall alchemical analysis of the Magia Divina, explained in the introduction. The Book of Abramelin was written during the 14th and 15th centuries by Abraham of von Worms, and is considered to be one of the true genuine books of magic. Several manuscript copies exist in German, Latin, French, and Swedish, and of course it gained popularity when Samuel Liddell MacGregor Mathers translated a French version into English, published in 1900. You may be aware of Georg Den's translation of the Abramelin. There we go, the Book of Abramelin. Which has been kind of a standard since it was published. Kind of took over from Samuel MacGregor Mathers' edition, which was just full of errors. I'm just very, very interested to see this book on the topic of the Abramelin ritual, just from a slightly different source, right? I think that can be kind of interesting, especially if there are illustrations. I think that can be kind of exciting. All right, and that's coming out as a hardcover. It's been out for a couple of months already. I kind of missed it, so that's great. Let's move on. There's a new DK Book of Witchcraft. Now, for those of you who've been following me for a while, you'll know that the DK book on astrology is my favorite beginner's book on astrology. It looks awful. It looks like a children's book. It looks like, if you just were to look at the cover, you would assume that there's really nothing for a serious magic practitioner inside. But it happens to be, my favorite introduction to astrology. And so seeing that DK are releasing a book of witchcraft, I'm not going to be as closed-minded as when I saw that astrology book for the first time, that's for sure. So just taking a closer look, obviously we've got the graphic design that DK invariably bring to their books. These are kind of coffee table books after all, but we can also see that they are very clearly laid out, very clearly described and accurate introduction books, right? I think this is good, folks. I think this is this can be of interest to a young witch of any age, by the way, definitely something to look into. As I say, I'm I like to stay open-minded about these things, especially with having been previously impressed by DK's offerings. So there we go. I guess I was expecting more information and colorful pages. Okay, all right. Well, I guess, this is an introduction. Expecting more colorful pages is like, it's so subjective, isn't it? Price is high for what you get. Okay, well, all right, Cindy. Bear that in mind, of course, if that is of high importance to you. I don't know. I think the having more colors wouldn't necessarily make it more pretty. I don't know. All right, let's continue with this little oracle deck, an Almanac of Birds, 100 divinations for uncertain days. This looked particularly beautiful to me. I like the fact that it seems to be what do you call it? A fabric cover. Seems to be. It may not be, but it's certainly very pretty. The box. You get various pictures of this box. But then you can see the oracle deck itself, and it just looks very pretty to me, right? So they've got these little texts on each card, and you may know my Foolish Fish folk and fairy tale cards of fate and fortune deck, which you can get at foolishfish.net. But it's kind of the same principle, right? So very short texts that evoke an idea or a situation that is then used in your divination. And so that seems to be the case over here, right? So little koans or that kind of thing. Have great mutual patience with all attempts at changing, for patience is respect bestowed on the present and a kindness to time. So they can be read as individual motivational speeches or whatever, and of course they are designed to be used in divination. But I really like these illustrations, you know, these kind of vintage bird illustrations that have that really, yeah, I like the style. Okay, it looks very pretty to me, and it seems like a good idea. So from writer Maria Popova, creator of the Marginalian, comes a gorgeous and inspiring book of cards, 100 divinations for daily living, partway between poem and koan, yet neither, collaged from the texts and illustrations of 19th century ornithological books. Yeah, so looks very sweet. And the Verdance Tarot, which I've told you about in the past, is out, folks, and I've got a copy, and it is so beautiful. I'll do a proper review video, and I'll show you how gorgeous these cards are. But I did want to point out that the tarot is now available. It's been available since a couple of days, and it is just utterly lovely. The pictures are so evocative and so detailed, and there's so many nice little bits. Like, I can imagine reading from this deck for years and still noticing new little details, new little aspects. And yeah, I mean, as you saw, it's big because it comes with an enormous book inside. Just a lovely full color book, with a foreword by Benabel Wen, no less, and it's yeah, so beautiful. I think you can easily pick this one up, whoever you are, and be fully impressed with what's inside. So it's a Llewellyn Tarot deck. The quality of the cards is good. It's a standard mass market tarot deck quality of card stock, but yeah, that artwork is absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. There we go. Okay, let's move on to news. There is one more tarot deck that I wanted to show you. It's this one, the Fawna Tarot, Your Intuitive Guidance. Once again, just a lovely fauna based tarot, and it's watercolors. I saw this and I'm like, oh, this is just so lovely. Obviously it's going to be a little bit more expensive than the Verdance Tarot. You can expect that, right? With gilded edges and so on, but it's so beautiful, so beautiful. So yeah, do take a closer look at that one. It's a Kickstarter. I'm not 100% sure when it's supposed to fulfill, but it's the kind of thing that I'm probably going to be quite happy to back and receive whenever they finish it, you know, and not look too closely at when it's due to be finished. for me personally, right? Do be aware that that Kickstarter is you're backing a project, right? But there's not 100% guarantee that the project will be completed. But you can see all the cards here. I mean, they finished the deck, so it does seem like they just need to fund it and then send it to the printers and get it sorted out. This is what I really liked, is that the elements are in the same place as the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, right? So you can recognize the pattern of the cups or the coins or whatever, it's because most people who are into tarot know the Rider-Waite-Smith so well. It then becomes much easier to go, oh yeah, that's clearly the 10 of Swords, whatever. Clearly the 5 of Wands, or and so on. So I think that's very, very cool. It seems like there's a couple of Lenormand decks as well. I was talking to a client recently saying that I don't know as much about the Lenormand as I probably should, but yes, this tarot is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So it seems to be in various formats, various. Okay, so we see one copy of the 78 cards Fawna deck and one copy of the 36 cards Magpie Lenormand deck. Okay, and then there's the deluxe Fawna. All right, you can see the various rewards down there. I've got a new course, folks. It's called the Magus's Toolbox, and the idea is that it will be 3 lessons this time. So the previous course that I was doing, Find Your Divine Path, was just 2 lessons. This is going to be 3 lessons starting on Saturday 4th of October. There'll be the following Saturday 11th of October, and then the following Saturday 18th of October. So three lessons during which I will essentially dig into the technologies of thaumaturgy, of miracle making, of making stuff happen in the manifest world. So going to be approaching this from many different perspectives. So it's going to be really not just an introduction, but a study of the various ways in which magic practitioners get things to happen, get things to change in the world, get things to move, and so on. They're all going to be 1 hour, 30-minute sessions, so 90-minute sessions, right? And this 7:30 p.m. is Central European time, so that's 6:30 p.m. UK time. New York time would be 1:30 p.m. On Saturdays, right? And then Pacific time would be, let me see, it's 10:30 a.m. right, on Saturdays. So I've tried to pick a time that is accessible to as many people as possible. I know so many of you work on Saturdays, and it's kind of difficult, but I've really tried my best to make this available to as many people as possible at a time that's kind of possible for as many people as possible. I'm so sorry to viewers in Australia and that part of the world. I have to pick the largest audience that watches the Foolish Fish channel, and so that's going to be happening early October. My plan is to offer a new workshop, a new course, a new live course at the beginning of every month for 6 months, and then start the cycle again. So if you missed the previous Find Your Divine Path, then you can pick up that one just 6 months later. I will only be doing these live. If you happen to miss a session, that's okay. You will receive a recording of the session that you missed. But the idea is to give you the opportunity to join live, to actually be with a group of other people, because there's a particular energy to that, and it's kind of exciting. So that's the Magus's or Magus's toolbox. If I just click on live classes, so this is the foolishfish.net website, by the way, right? So if I just click on that, yeah, you'll be able to see the previous lesson that course that I did, that I'm actually still doing. We're doing the second session this coming Saturday. I'm recording on Thursday 11th, so the next session is going to be on Saturday 13th. The first session went really well. I'm really looking forward to the second session. But yeah, giving you a little bit of advance notice. Do be aware that if you did take the previous course, the Find Your Divine Path, then you will have received an email giving you 25% off this Magus's Toolbox course. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is that if you are level 3 or level Infinity Foolish Fish member, if you support me through Patreon or through the Foolish Fish YouTube memberships, then have a look in the on Patreon or in the Foolish Fish posts, in the community area. You'll find the code to get 25% off there as well, right? So yes, the course is $120 because it's 3 sessions instead of 2, whereas the Find Your Divine Path was $100. Yeah, so 25% off would bring the price down to $90, I guess. All right, let's move on to Esoterica. So Dr. Justin Sledge has been making these bowls available for a little while now, but yeah, so this is these are reproductions of antique, ancient, in fact, or late antiquity incantation bowls featuring Lilith. Let me just give you a little read of this. Aramaic incantation bowls were an ancient magical technology for warding off the power of demons, especially Lilith or Lilitu, and malevolent sorcery. Numberings in the thousands, these bowls represent a now lost anti-demonic magical tradition. Esoterica has resurrected this practice in the form of a beautiful objet d'art, a handmade contemporary bowl featuring a traditional Lilith image and Aramaic inscription composed by Justin Sledge, all based on historical examples. So he's composed the text. He's it's D.D. Mangum, who has recreated these on these modern bowls, basically, right? The clay used is locally sourced buff stoneware and thrown on a kick wheel and allowed to dry 2 weeks before initial kiln firing to 1969 degrees Fahrenheit. Surface design is hand-scripted incantation in Aramaic square text, utilizing traditional brush and nib techniques with an ink mixture of red and black iron oxides. So you can pick up your own traditional Aramaic incantation bowl to ward off demons directly from Dr. Sledge's shop, Esoterica, occultbooks.com. Links to all of this down in the description, of course. What's next? Oh, yes, this is a new class offered by Dr. Al Cummins, a master class for the Master Saint Cyprian, an exploration of history, folklore, magic, necromancy, and devotion across traditions around the world, centered around the sorcerer and saint and martyr of the on the eve of his feast. So this is happening. Okay, found it. Thursday, September 25th, 2025, from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Again, not sure what time zone that's going to be, and costs $77, so it's likely to be a US time zone. Okay. Yeah, it's Dr. Alexander Cummins, Katerina Pejovic, and Jesse Hathaway Diaz, all collaborating on this particular course. So that's pretty exciting for those of you interested in St. Cyprian's sorcery. Okay, all right. So I'll obviously leave links down below so you can discover all of that as well. My board game of the week is one that I've been kind of looking forward to. It's been announced for a little while now, and I've had it in my saved list, and every time it gets advertised I think to myself, oh, is it released yet? Oh no, it's not released yet, but now it's released. It's called Smallfolk, a cozy tableau builder. Take an exciting journey with your friends in this cozy 1 to 4 player board game. It looks easy to learn, it looks cozy, there's a solo mode, which I always appreciate. 1 to 4 players, 45 minutes, which usually translates as 2 hours, for players 10 and over. Let's see, discover folk tales in this cozy board game for 1 to 4 players. Immerse yourself in Greek, Japanese, Arabian, and Celtic myths and legends. Recruit famous heroes from folklore to guide you on your journey. The board looks glorious, beautiful colors. The cards all look lovely. I really appreciate the artwork. Some what do you call them? Some Easter eggs for board gamers. Like, all of these cards feature well-known characters from other board games, whatever. But that's not the the main attraction. The main attraction is these 4 different traditions coming together as elements of a cohesive board game. Yeah, I think that's kind of nice in itself, and it does seem to be quite an accessible, approachable game without too many rules. Something that's going to be easy to learn, something that's going to be easy to teach, something that's going to be easy to get to the table quite regularly, with some lovely pieces, right? Some lovely components. That's always kind of nice, you know, when you get to play with nice stuff. I always like that very, very much. So let's see, the patron pledge for, so I guess that's the base game, right? £54. £54 is what I'm gonna say, maybe around $80, something along those lines, maybe a little less. Core pledge just for the base game is £29, so maybe more like $45. So that's cool. Yeah, to be discovered, to be explored. So this is the all-in pledge with the special fancy components and stuff. I if there's fancy components, I get the fancy components. It's such an integral part for me of board gaming, is to have lovely things to touch and to look at. Yeah, if there's nice little acrylic bits made of wood and like little metal coins, then I like to have those. There we go. So that's my news for today, folks. Thank you so much once again for watching. Don't forget that I do one-to-one video conversations. So if you'd like to pick my brains, have a one-to-one conversation with me on whatever topic you would like, then just visit my website, foolishfish.net. There are links to book a session with me. I do tarot reads as well, so if you'd like to get some visibility on your immediate future, or on what you should be focusing on, or what you could change to get better outcomes, then yeah, book a session like that. It's always a great pleasure for everyone involved, actually. But we'll always have a lot of fun. And if you'd like to support the channel, of course, the Patreon is always the best way to do that. And if you get onto the higher levels, the level 3, the Magister Venerabilis, and the level Infinity levels, then you get a significant discount on those monthly courses that I've started doing, and you'll also get included in my daily planetary rituals that I perform, and benefit from all of that. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will see you very soon. Do take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, and see you with another video. Take care. Bye-bye.